Fireworks lit up the stars above the Central Alliance world. Alien leaders smiled, raised their glasses, and declared the war with Earth finally over. Music echoed across the grand halls of the Galactic Council. Victory banners waved. But far. From the celebration, a lone scout ship drifted in silence, its crew frozen in fear. On their screen, a massive human fleet was heading toward the core systems. Not broken, not defeated, just waiting. A whispered message escaped the scout's lips. "We were wrong. Earth is coming." And in that moment, joy turned into cold, rising fear across the stars. While the galaxy celebrated, Earth's dreadnoughts moved through deep space, silent, dark, and unseen. No signals, no warnings. Their massive shapes blended into the black void like shadows of judgment. Each ship was a fortress, carrying weapons that hadn't been seen before. Captain Wren of the alien patrol fleet picked up strange readings, but ignored them. After all, the war was over, right? But one junior officer zoomed in on the scans and froze. These aren't cargo ships," he whispered. Too late. The dreadnoughts had already passed the outer defenses. Earth hadn't. Surrendered. Earth had only waited for this moment. Years ago, before the war began, a human ambassador stood before the Galactic Council and gave a final warning. "If you attack Earth, we will remember." The Council laughed then, mocking Earth's small fleet and outdated tech. But one alien historian, Elder Virox, never forgot those words. Now, as news of Earth's dreadnoughts spread, he stared at the old message again, his hands shaking. Across the stars, fear returned. "They didn't come to talk," he whispered. "They came to finish it." The Council scrambled to respond, but it was too late. Earth's silent fleet was already inside their space, and they weren't stopping. The first image came from a damaged scout drone, blurry, shaking, but clear enough to see. A massive black dreadnought hovered near a gas giant, dwarfing even the largest alien cruisers. It had no lights, no signals, just silent motion and strange markings along its hull. The Council stared in silence. General Thorne growled, This is not the Earth we fought." Panic spread through the room. These were not old ships from the last war. These were new, powerful, and built for destruction. One advisor whispered, Earth was quiet because they were building monsters. And now, the monsters were here. Without a word, Earth's dreadnoughts opened fire. A remote military station on the edge of the Alliance territory vanished in seconds. No alarms, no warnings, just a flash of light and silence. Captain Solon of the Outer Defense Fleet watched in horror as his screen turned red. "We're under attack!" he shouted, but his voice was lost in the panic. Ships scrambled to respond, but Earth's weapons were too fast, too advanced. Nothing could stop them. Across the galaxy, the message spread like wildfire. Earth had returned. Not to talk, not to negotiate, but to destroy. And this time, they would not stop. Panic exploded inside the Galactic Council. Shouting, fear, and blame filled the grand chamber. Leaders of once proud civilizations argued over what to do. Some wanted peace, others called for surrender. A few still believed they could fight. But no one had answers. The room that once ruled the galaxy now felt powerless. In the corner, Elder Virox whispered, "They warned us." And we laughed. Outside, Earth's fleet kept moving, silent, cold, and unstoppable. As dreadnoughts closed in on the inner systems, one thing became clear to all. The war had never truly ended. Earth was only just beginning its revenge. Varnock was the Alliance's strongest military planet, heavily armed, well-defended, and proud. Its skies were filled with defense ships and energy shields. But when Earth's dreadnoughts arrived, None of it mattered. In less than 10 minutes, the shields collapsed. Defense towers exploded. Entire cities went dark. From orbit, Earth's ships rained silent fire, exact and brutal. General Rax of Varnock gave the last order. "Evacuate, if you can!" But escape was impossible. Earth didn't come to fight. They came to end it. The fall of Varnock sent shockwaves through the stars. If even Varnock couldn't stand, then nowhere in the galaxy was safe. Just as fear gripped every corner of the galaxy, Earth finally spoke. A single transmission was broadcast on all known frequencies. A human officer appeared on screen, calm and sharp-eyed. Behind him, the Dreadnought. Fleet stood like silent giants. He said only this: "You wanted war. Now you will see how Earth fights when it is truly angry." Then the screen went black. No threats, no demands, just a cold promise. Across the stars, leaders fell silent. Armies stood still. Earth had said little, but it meant everything. This wasn't retaliation. It was judgment, and it had just begun. The Tsar. Shock from Earth's attack tore the alliance apart. Member worlds blamed each other for the failure. Old rivalries flared as some planets prepared to betray the Council. The once united front was now cracked and broken. Rebel fleets formed, ready to fight anyone who stood in their way, including each other. Amid the chaos, Earth's dreadnoughts moved closer to the core systems. Captain Mira watched the news feeds, her heart heavy. The war was no longer between Earth and the galaxy, it was between aliens themselves. And in the silence, one truth was clear. Earth had changed everything forever. Darkness covered the battlefield as Earth's dreadnoughts formed a giant wall of steel and fire. Alien fleets gathered for one last fight, desperate and fierce. Captain Mira stood on her ship's bridge, eyes fixed on the enemy ahead. The silence before the storm was thick with fear and hope. Lasers flashed, engines roared, and the first missiles flew. The galaxy held its breath as the war it thought was over exploded into chaos again. This was no longer just a fight for power, it was a fight for survival, and Earth was ready to win, no matter the cost.